Hi, my name is David, and I'm going to walk you through how I solved the CSWA practice problem 9.3, which includes 9.3A and 9.3B. So the first thing we'll do is open a new assembly and set the units to IPS. That way we don't forget. So I'll hit Control N, Assembly, OK, and set the units to IPS. So next we're going to insert small hole fork base at the origin. So we'll want to go to Insert Components, and I've got all of the parts for this particular practice problem unzipped into a folder, and we'll double click on Small Hole Fork Base. Now we've got only fix first component checked or selected, and so we'll go to the green check, and that'll ensure that this part that we just placed down here has an origin that's the same as the assembly origin, so it locks it to the assembly's origin. Now we can insert the rest of the components, and I'll click on the first one, shift click on the last one, and then control click on the part that we've already inserted. So that way we select everything except for that first part that we inserted. Then hit open, and we can place this part down. This part, it would probably be good to rotate it a little bit, so I'm going to rotate it about the x-axis so that you can see that's going to line up a little bit better, and then about the y-axis a couple times. So that's looking a little bit more like how it's going to connect with this other piece here. So I'll set it down, set down these other parts, these pins. Alright, and we'll start mating things together. Now you can either select or press the mate paperclip, or I've got it set to a mouse gesture, so I right click and drag to the left. If you don't already have that set up, you can go to Tools and then down to Custom, and then go to the Mouse Gestures tab, and you can set up your mouse gestures however you like. Alright, so let's start by putting these pins together. I'm going to select the curved face here and the curved face here, and automatically a concentric mate is selected, so I'm going to hit enter. Now I can still move this pin in and out like that, but at least that makes them concentric. And I'll go ahead and connect these pins to this black part right here. So I'm going to select this curved part and this curved part. That automatically makes them concentric. Hit enter. Now one thing is I can move this around, so I want to lock this curved face to this curved face, make those concentric as well. Hit enter, and that's looking pretty good. Now I can still move this pin in and out, but we're going to deal with that in just a moment. And that moment has arrived. So let's go ahead and deal with that. We will want to put this small pin and make it concentric with this curved face. So let me select that and that curved face. Hit enter. Looks good. And even more than that, we want this pin to be right in the middle, right? We want this side and this side to be basically symmetric about this axis right here. So one way of doing that is to use the I'm going to just slide this pin out a little bit farther, is to use the width mate. So to do that, we'll go over to Advanced and then Width. We'll select the two faces on the pin, this one and this one right here, and then the two inner faces here and here. And what that does is it makes sure that the distance from this blue face to the pink face is the same as the distance from this blue face to this pink face here. It makes them equal width. So we'll hit enter, and now that's lined up and locked into place. There is one degree of freedom that this pin still has, which is the rotation about its axis, but that one's okay. We don't really have to worry about that axis of rotation because it doesn't really change. Even if you spin this, it doesn't change the center of mass. Okay, so now let's make sure that this one is going into here. From the picture, it looks like this face right here is flush up against this face. So we could use a coincident mate, but when I was doing this problem, I wasn't 100% sure that that was the case, and I wanted to just make sure that this part here was centered along the axis, just like we centered this pin. So I went for a width mate again, and basically selected this guy here and this guy here, the two faces, and then these two interfaces. Hit enter, and now we're sure that this part is definitely centered appropriately. If we had selected a coincident mate, then it may be coincident on this side, but there might be a gap that would open over here if the width is not the same as the space between the distance between those two faces, those two interfaces. So it looks like in this case it actually is flush up against the two sides here, but I just wanted to be sure, so I used a width mate. Alright, so it looks like this thing is rotating nicely. Now we want to connect this piece, and there are two things we want to do then to connect the piece. One is, well, we need to set up a standard mate with these curved faces, which will automatically default to a concentric mate. And the other is we want to do the same kind of thing. We want to make sure that this piece is centered along this pin, or that this pin is centered along this piece here. So I'm going to go back to the width mate. I'll select this face here and this other face here, and then select these two interfaces. That's something that's mentioned in the specifications too. If you look down over here, it says equal spacing on both sides. So that's basically what we're doing. We're making sure that the distance from that circular face and the interface here is equal to the distance between this circular face and then the interface over here. So we definitely need the width mate for that. Alright, let's see what we've got so far. So we can rotate this part as expected. And now we have two angle mates to set up. Let's take a look at what those angle mates are. One is we want to, let's actually start with this one. We want there to be 31 degrees between this face and the side of the little black part there. So let's get into that. It looks like that's a front view. So I'll hit Control 1 for a front view and then rotate a little bit so I can see the faces. So basically we want a standard face that includes the angle mate, standard mate, which includes the angle mate. And I want the angle between this face and this face here. Now when I select the two with the standard mate selected, it automatically defaults to parallel, but I don't want that. I want the angle mate. So I can click on angle mate here or over here. I'm just going to do it right here and enter 31. Alright, it's looking pretty good. Let me just zoom out a little bit and see if that's correct. Looking good. Let me go back into that mate and just mention a couple things. So it happened to work out this time, but if for whatever reason this is over on this side here, or if it's going the wrong way, then you can play around with these two options here. So you can try a flip dimension, you can try change mate alignment, and some combination should get you in the right position. Now in this case we just happened to luck out and the 31 degrees ended up being correct, going in the correct direction. But sometimes the way that the faces are set up and the parameterization, it'll be all in opposite directions from what you want. So if that's the case, you can play around with those options until you get what you want. Alright, so that is that angle. Let's go over to the 14-degree angle. That's between this face right here and the one of the faces of the black piece again. So let's check that out. I'm just going to rotate around to the top here. And it looks like it was between here and here. Okay, and we again want an angle mate. We want it to be 14 degrees. And let's just double check that it's going in the right direction. And, all right, it's going in the right direction. It's like a total miracle, actually, when it happens, that it goes in the correct direction. Because when we look at this, we want it to be going, we want this piece to be going that way, as opposed to going that way. So it's correct. Now, I've done this a few times. Just before recording this video, I did this a few times, and every single time it was going the wrong direction, despite very similar, assembly methods here. So anyway, looks like we're all set. So we can get out of the mate mode and check our center of mass. And it looks like we've got 4.63, negative 0.51, and negative 0.25. And that's exactly what we've got right here. So let's move on to part B. Pretty straightforward. All we have to do is change the angles of those two angle mates. So the one that was, let me close this up here. The one that was 31 degrees, now we want 43 degrees. Hit enter, enter. And then we can check that off. And then the one that was 14 degrees, we want to be 34 degrees. Enter, enter, enter. And we can check our center of mass. We've got 4.40, negative 0.58, and negative 0.57. Now, if we look over here, we're pretty close. This was 4.40 in the center of mass that we got here. This one was exactly the same, and this one was negative 0.57. So we're off by 100th, which is close enough. That's within the 1% rule. And so we should be good to go. If you got this exact center of mass, please let me know below in the comments and let me know what kind of mates you used to get that. I feel like I've done this problem a few times in a few different ways, and I'm always getting the same center of mass that I got just now. So I feel like it's okay. Anyway, I hope this video has been helpful. Take care and keep studying.